Yes, we are back again. Jamal, good night again to all of our viewers. We've been talking about the Akim's 303. Fantastic stuff by him. And like I said earlier, he's a fantastic talent. A really, really good all-rounder. I personally see him as a really good all-rounder because he could bowl quite good leg spin also. When I've coached him, I've utilized him quite a bit bowling leg spin, and we could see that he had done that. But that discussion, we will just leave it behind just a little, and we'll touch on the CPL. CPL is about to start, Jamal. That starts from August 29th. That starts from, and don't forget, this year's CPL viewers is presented by the Republic Bank, which is the title sponsors for this year's CPL. We have 34 matches. 30 matches will be held at about 7 p.m. and the next 4 would be about 10 p.m. In St. Lucia, we have 4 games that will be from the 7th of September to about the 15th of September at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. And we know CPL is a very, very exciting time, Jamal.
It's a highlight of the cricketing calendar for many persons all around the region. And
that's right.
Over the years, they've really earned the tag of the biggest party in sport. Yeah. That perfect fusion between cricket and culture. And it's almost become inseparable. So, looking forward to some exciting stuff.
Yes, I am. I am also looking forward to some exciting stuff. We have some teams we got to touch on. We'll touch on the Trinidad team. In terms of because the drafts is gone already. Teams have already selected the overseas players. They've already retained players for their respective franchises. As we could see, the Trinidad, most of the teams have already selected. And we just take a look at the Trinidad team. If the technician could just put it on the board, we'll just delve into the Trinidad team. As we could see, we see the Shakiri Paris, and we have Nathan Edward with the sort of newcomers into that Trinidad team. And that Trinidad team has always been a quite settled team, Jamal.
Settled and a star-studded lineup. And they've really set the benchmark for dominance, excellent cricket.
Yes, definitely. You could see the likes of, Bravo, just coming back into that team. We have international cricketers like Casey Catty, he was part of that team last year, and he comes back. He's back again. But you could see most of those guys. I think Jason Roy is one of the newcomers from England, very explosive opening batter. And they've realized maybe they're a little bit short-handed opening the batting, so they've added Jason Roy to their batting. Tim David, who used to play for the St. Lucia Kings, is part of the Trinidad team. Salam Keel, who played last year, also left-arm orthodox, bowling really well. I think the conditions in the Caribbean suits him quite well. As you know, spinners get quite a bit of purchase on the Caribbean pitches. And we just touch on the under 23 there in Nathan Edward. I'm not sure if you've heard about him, but he was part of the World Cup, the World Cup squad, the National World Cup under 19 team that just played, the West Indies under 19 team that just played the World Cup in South Africa. Nathan Edward is from St. Martin, but he has either his mother or his father is of St. Lucian descent. Is St. Lucian, and the other parents should be Dominican. So he is a Windward Islander, actually playing for the Leewards in first-class cricket and under 19 cricket.
But based on his talent and ability, Gary, do you think that that's one that we've lost?
I do think so. I do think so. Very, very good all-rounder in the making. I think he had some experience playing in not the IPL, but in those leagues, in one of the leagues in Dubai or Sri Lanka. He had some experience playing there. So very good up-and-coming all-rounder left-arm seamer and left-hand batter. He was just part of the Rising Stars under 19 tournament, the recently concluded Rising Stars under 19 tournament. So I would have coached the Windwards under 19 and played against them. But yes, really, really good batter, and I'm looking forward to a lot from him in the near future. You look at the guys like Mark Dial, who was there last year. He also played for St. Lucia before. He was part of the St. Lucia franchise for maybe a couple of years. Cannot recall the exact timeline, but at least 2 years. Pretty settled team in the Trinidad Knight Riders. What do you expect from them, Jamal?
Well, as mentioned previously, this has been the most consistent team in the CPL. I think they would have captured the championship, I think, for about 3 years already.
Yes, if memory serves me right, they've won it for more than about 3 years or more. They've won it. They've won it for. I think they and Jamaica Talawas would have been almost level with championships, or maybe Trinidad just getting ahead of them quite a bit, maybe by one. But yeah.
Gary, but I am a math teacher by profession, and it just seems to me that Trinidad,
I know you like your
really,
numbers, yeah.
Yes, they've really worked out the ideal formula for lifting championships. You see they're a perfect mixture between experience and youth. I mean, nobody more experienced than Dwayne Bravo, the most wickets in T20 cricket.
For sure.
There is Kyron Pollard, now coaching in England, playing the 100, coming back to play the CPL, former West Indies captain. There's Andre Russell there as well. There's Nicholas Puran.
Yeah. Very, very formidable team. What
team.
I do think of the Trinidad franchise and what I've seen with them over the years is the consistency with the players that they've picked. They've backed those players, and they've continued picking those players, whether they've had a good season or not. So I do think one of the strengths of the Trinidad team is just the fact that they have a pretty settled unit. Maybe one or two guys coming in, they draft one or two guys, but pretty settled unit. Most of the guys that you will see within the Trinidad setup, you would have seen them for the past 2 years or the past 3 years. So I think that's one of the things that work for them. I think also they have what the two is sort of try to, in terms of their homegrown players, give them opportunities. I do think that they give a lot of their youngsters quite a bit of opportunities in order to showcase their talents and sort of stick with them for quite a while. And you could see some of those things are paying dividends for people like Terrence Hines, who just came in for the past 2 years, and he's done well for them. Like I said, Mac Diallo was with St. Lucia. They've taken him. I'm not sure what happened, but he's gone to his native country because he's a Trinidadian, so he's gone back home. Puran also was with the Amazon Warriors, and he's gone back to Trinidad and has gone back home. And I do know that within that culture, especially with the captain Kyron Pollard, it's a pretty tight-knit team that they have. What are you sort of expecting from them? Do you think that the good enough team this year to go for the title?
Actually,
make a title
I actually thought that they were good enough last year to have taken the title. It was quite surprising to me that they lost out to Guyana in that final. Guyana, the consummate bridesmaids of the tournament, 6 finals previously, before that, the 7th one, and they finally got over the line. I just thought that beforehand, Trinidad had it covered. And that's what I find about this Trinidadian team. They always cover all bases. So Gary, you know as a coach, Salam Keel, the left arm, Akil Hussein, the left arm spin. So you have wrist spin, you have the off spin in Mark Dial, batter at the top order who can give you some overs, powerful arounders. Russell, you have Pollard who bowls as well, Bravo who bowls as well. Jaden Seals will be the spearhead, I think, with the new ball. So they've covered all bases, and most of the wickets take to spin. All right. There's definitely some purchase of the wicket to be gleaned, and with a power pack spinning lineup, I think that in with a shout, as they always are.
Yes, I do think yes, and like you said, most of the areas that they've thought that they needed assistance in, I think they've rectified that. Like I said, Salam Keel was bowls left hand, back of the hand, and then you have Akil Hussein, who opens the bowling at international level for the West Indies. And he has done very, very well opening the bowling, and I could tell you it's a very, very difficult task opening the bowling spin in a T20 match at international level with only 2 men protecting the boundaries. So
you would know that well. You would have done that for the West Indies.
Yes, for the West Indies. So it's a very, very difficult task, and sometimes we underestimate how difficult it is to open the bowling as a spinner in a T20 game. But you look at the experience. And I think that's one of the things that would probably, or most of the times, get them over the line. When you look at the experience of Pollard, you look at the experience of Dwayne Bravo, Andrew Russell, Puran. He's young, but he's played quite a bit of T20 cricket. And he's been playing cricket all over the globe, and he's been doing quite well. Very, very dangerous player. So, as a matter of fact, you have 2 of the most dangerous players in the West Indies setup on that team, which is Russell and Puran. So those 2 guys, a lot will be asked of them in terms of getting their teams over the line. And you look at the 100, we've seen age has done nothing to Kyron Pollard. He's been doing exceptionally well. We saw he took Rashid Khan apart for 5 sixes in an over in the 100 to get his team over the line. It was truly amazing.
But could you imagine? Just imagine, we've mentioned all of these names. When you left out the spin wizard, Sunil Narayan is part of that team.
Sunil Narayan, and that's a really, really good point in terms of Sunil Narayan. Look at how he performed at the IPL. Batting also. Opening the batting for the Kolkata Knight Riders. I'm not sure how Trinidad is going to go about using him within their setup in this year's CPL. But yes, they have so many options, and it will be very, very exciting to watch the Trinidad team.
But my question to you, you've had Casey Carty making his test debut, looking silky smooth, looking the part. Yes. Do you think that there is space for him in this Trinidadian top order?
I do, and I'll tell you why. I think some of the games that he played last year, in the last year, he wasn't. In the first couple of games, he didn't get in, but when he got into the team, he showed his worth. I do think, especially playing on those pitches that we have, you need a batsman of that caliber, somebody who knows the wickets, and he's coming from playing Test cricket, he's coming from playing international cricket, so that would bode well for him going into the CPL. We have guys like Jaden Seals, who's been playing international cricket, and let me tell you, he's growing into his own as the leader of the attack in the absence of Alzari Joseph, and you can see he did fantastically well even when Kim Roach was not present. We saw how he has performed in the Test match. Now we know Test match cricket and T20 cricket are two different ball games, but I do think he could with that form that he has with the ball lately, I do think that he could transform and see and adapt into a T20 caliber bowler. But yes, Jamal, you look at the Trinidad team, really good experienced team. They've always had that experience. Trinidad has always been a threat in the CPL, regardless of what team they put out. And just have the leadership of Pollard, who's a former West Indies captain, says a lot for them, and it only augurs well for that team. So I am looking forward to good things from that Trinidad team. And like I said, we always the spinning wizard, Sunil Narayan. He's always done well for whichever franchise that he plays on, and whichever conditions.
I have a question for you, Gary, because you would have played the CPL now. A lot of persons would not like to admit this, but in these dressing room conversations, knowing that you're coming up against a team of that might, of that caliber, what are the conversations like? Is there a sense of fear, do you believe? I know you might not want to admit that, but knowing that star-studded lineup, is there a sense of fear? What's it like?
I do think, for me, and I've always told as a coach, and I was a player before, for sure, I've always told my players, if you are not nervous, then that means you're not human. Yeah, the nervousness helps you perform very, very well. So it's okay to have nerves. It's okay to sort of know what your opponent is capable of, but not worship it. Yeah? Because if you're going into a game, for me, if you're going to a game with the mindset that Jamal is better than me, I'm already putting myself at a disadvantage. Now, you talk about the conversations that are being had within the dressing room setup. And for me, the first thing that a coach would go into, and the night before, and even reiterate that during the dressing room conversations, are the plans that you have for each player, whether it be a bowler, whether it be a batter, and the plans you have for each bowler. So, for instance, our plans, and I remember clearly when I won the CPL with Jamaica, our plans against Sunil Narayan when we came up against him was to sort of, he has 4 overs.
Just play him out.
Not just play him out. If you could get 6 runs and over from him without even looking to hit big boundaries and not giving him, because the most important thing is to ensure that he has nothing in the wickets column. If he has something in the wickets column, then that means he's causing trouble. But if he has nothing in the wickets column and he's gone for 24, 6 fours or 24, he's bowling 4 overs, right? He's gone for 24. Most people will tell you, boy, when you come up against Trinidad, you only have 16 overs because you will not be able to get Narayan for over 30.
It's true.
Yeah, so essentially, if you played smart, what we're looking to do is to sort of just hit him around, just knock him around the field, knock him around the park, and then maybe you get an the odd edge. Maybe he bowl, something too close, and that goes maybe 1 or 2 boundaries within his spell. But as long as you're able to rotate the strike against him and not give him any wickets, you're winning. You're winning the game, because Trinidad really relies on Narayan to win games for them by taking wickets. Because you could see he's winning the games. If most of the time he's taking wickets, he's not going for any runs. And most of the times, if you look at Narayan's economy rate for the amount of cricket that he's played, I don't think it has ever passed 6.
It's true.
So when 3 or 4 for about 5 thereabouts. So when a bowler is bowling like that, I think you have to play with a little more head, as opposed to sort of being arrogant and looking to take him on. So the smartest thing for any team would have been, and I remember Coach Paul Nixon at the time, that was the plan. So anytime we came up, we had maybe two games against them, 3 games against them. Every time we came up against them, it's just to ensure that he goes for about 20 or 24, and there's 0 in the wickets column. And that helped us throughout the tournament.
But the beautiful thing about that from Trinidad is that they have empowered Akil Hussain.
Hold that thought. We're due for our second break, so we'll go to our second break, because you know the importance of paying our bills. So we'll go to our second break. Hold that thought, Jamal. We'll come right back to that.